Guys, I have been working with students. I have spoken to thousands of students when I was in India, and I have been in leadership and management kind of roles. I've done a bit of reading, writing, as well as spoken with students on various subjects. We run a school in Jalgaon district of Maharashtra, and I communicate with students and teachers there. So I have few things to share. I will call them as 10 tips for 8 to 12 standard students. Well, children below 8 standard can also get benefited, and even beyond 12, if they listen to it, they can have few tips from this. And I have realized this after all years of experience and reading from various books, motivational books, management, leadership style books. What I think is the first and most important point which students at this level, when they go to 8, 9, 10, they tend to do is they stop playing or they reduce playing. They reduce the physical activity because they have more stuff to do in terms of reading and exams, different competitive exams, career. So they, unfortunately, a lot of these students, they practice less sports. So my advice, based on my own experience and experience of many more people I know, don't stop playing. Continue with the sports, whatever sports you are doing, whether it's specific, competitive sports or a solo activity like you do in martial arts or climbing, swimming. Just continue with that. Don't give up because you are year 10 and you have an important exam, or year 12 and you have important competitive exam. So don't stop playing, don't stop physical activity. In fact, if you know Arnold Schwarzenegger, a very successful Hollywood actor, he was a bodybuilder. He started exercising, doing weights at the age of 14, and by the time he reached 20, he was already at the world level. He was world, Mr. Universe. This person started weight training from 14 and 15 years of age. So this is a time when people who want to be really fit, they can start doing weight training as well, and that will help you in your future life. That's my own experience because I started a little bit of weight training at that stage and then continued during my medical schooling, and even today I do a little bit of weight, and that helps me. And being a doctor and a health educator, I now know the importance of it. So you can pick up these exercises. You can do simple pull-ups, push-ups, or other freestyle exercises, and continue with that. Continuity and being consistent is the key to have a very good health and very good body shape as well. So second thing I would like you guys to keep in mind, be mindful, is about what you eat. The eating habits develop at much earlier stage when you are a very little, few months old, and after mom's milk you get outside food. We call it as a weaning, and it depends on what you are given during weaning. If you are given some healthy food for weaning, then as a child you tend to eat healthy food. You tend to eat vegetables, fruits, and other non-vegetarian healthy foods. If you're given some sweet, oily, fried stuff, then you just tend to go for that, sweet test and good test, and you don't tend to develop healthy habits. But you haven't lost everything. If you didn't get that opportunity as a child, you can still develop good eating, healthy eating habits. So just watch what you're eating. Have you got enough proteins? Do you have healthy carbohydrates, healthy fats in your diet? Do you have 5 a day, which is 5 different types of vegetables or fruits in one day? Are you eating that? Do you have a balanced diet, a balance of good vegetarian and non-vegetarian diet? If you are a vegetarian person or from a family who don't cook non-veg often, then you need to be careful about your protein intake, because vegetarian food has got very limited proteins. You have to be very selective to be able to get a lot of proteins from vegetarian food. You have to be careful about how much iron and vitamins and vitamin D, B12 you are consuming, because it's very easy to get short on this and be deficient on this, and that can influence a lot of your physical and mental abilities. So you have to watch what you're eating, and have a combination of different foods and have a balanced diet. And especially if you are into sport, then make sure you get right amount of proteins in your diet. I would advise you to have a balance of both vegetarian and non-vegetarian proteins at this stage. And people, if they want to give up non-vegetarian, that should be left for later stage. But now you need a balanced diet for development of your brain, your muscles and bones. So it's very important. So watch what you eat. The next thing I would suggest at this stage, which is very important, is the mental resilience. So what is the resilience? It's the ability to adapt to the life tasks in the face of adversity, stress, trauma or tragedy. So anything bad happens, you should have ability to cope up with that, deal with that successfully and come out of it, and not get affected too much and get overburdened with the stress and tragedy and ruin your own life from that trauma. So that's mental resilience or psychological resilience. It's very important, and it's difficult for me to give you tips on that because it's a process and it's a complex process, but I'll still take this opportunity to tell you that look at the life from above. We should consider life as a precious, valuable thing in the nature. But is the life all about happiness and fun? It's not. So there will be ups and downs. There will be good moments, there will be bad moments. There will be nice people, there will be bad people who will give you negative experiences. You will feel bad and negative in certain circumstances. It's not about happiness all the time. So accept that ups and downs is the rule. It is not exception. Nobody is perfectly happy. And when we feel negative or bad, it's perfectly fine. It's okay not to be okay occasionally. But that shouldn't be the persistent case. You shouldn't feel not okay all the time. And if you feel like that, then you should probably speak to people. If it's happening because of the family member, you should tell it to other family member. If the whole family you think is giving you bad experience, speak to your teachers. Speak to the doctor when you go there. And if you think your life is in danger because of some reason, then go to police. Don't wait. If you think you are in danger and you have excessive negative thoughts, you cannot cope up with them, don't take any negative steps. Life is very valuable. Life is precious. Human life is the most precious life in the universe. So take adequate help, talk to people and try to change the situation. Remember, the negative situation, negative event, negative feeling is not going to be there forever. You will come out of it, but you need to be mindful and take right steps. One more important thing in building a mental resistance on a long-term basis is to meditate. Meditation is a mental training. I practice 2 hours of meditation every day. I wake up and sit for 1 hour meditation. I do Vipassana, and I do evening 1 hour Vipassana. I will advise you to start doing the same for 10 minutes. You can do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, and it's easy to do. The courses are free. If you can't go to the courses now, just find out on internet and you will have mini Anapana for children. It's there in every language, so you just download it or go to YouTube and find out and follow the instructions and do try morning and evening for some time, and you will definitely find benefits. It helps to build up the resilience of the mind. Next important skill for you to develop is a communication skill. Remember, it's very important to communicate well, but very important part of communication is listening. So be a good listener. Listen to people first. Don't rush to reply back. Don't rush to interrupt and put your point forth. Just listen carefully, calmly, and then respond to people. When you respond, control your emotions. Talk calmly without bringing up your emotions, prejudices, or any other feelings. You have to just speak confidently and calmly. And watch your gestures. You need to look into the eyes of people when you talk. Watch your hand movements, finger movements, your body gesture. Are you leaning too much forward, or are you a very straight, rigid type of person when you talk, or put some points forward? You have to be watchful of all these things because they do matter in communication. There is something called 7 C's of communication. I will just go through C's and I won't go into the details. You have to be clear, you have to be correct, you have to be concise, you have to be courteous, you have to be you have to have a concreteness in what you say, and you have to be considerate, consider others as well. When you say something, you have to have considered their feelings, their situation, and you have to be complete in what you say. Just half-hearted, half knowledge talking won't help you. So the communication is very important. And looking at the scenario today, because we are a global type of society now, it's very important that you develop your language skills as well. English, French, Hindi, and your local languages, whichever language you are speaking now, are very important to develop, and they will help you in good communication, making good impression and getting your tasks done. One more thing which I missed as a child of your age, and I came to know about this concept quite late in my life, in my late 30s. That's a financial literacy. So know the money. Find out how money is coming in your house, how it is spent every month, and how much part of that money goes into the savings, investment, and what is your family's future plan for money management, pensions, and any contingency plans. When the emergencies come, how your family is going to manage in terms of finances. This is very important for you to learn at this stage. This will make you financially literate. And if you are more interested, then you can go into some basic books or watch some lectures, attend some courses, and make yourself more financially aware. Know about assets, know about different types of incomes, different types of investments like stocks, bonds, shares, and other types of investments. Know about pensions, insurances, and different types of businesses. This basic information will really help you to make your own life decisions, and this will help you to become financially literate. So do think about this. I'm sure there will be some knowledge you are gaining through your education system, but going bit extra will help you to stay ahead in your life. Next very important thing is be a moral person, lead a moral life. What does this mean? So there are 5 precepts which have been given by our old saints and sages and Buddhas. They are called Panchashil. I will just read out for you. No lying. Whatever it matters, whatever it takes, I will not lie. I will not manipulate my words. I will be truthful. I will stand with the truth. No stealing. The thing which doesn't belong to me, I won't have it. I won't snatch it away from others. I won't even copy in the exams. If I don't know something, I will write whatever I know from my own efforts, from my own memory, and finish my exams. No copying, no killing, no violence, no addictions. This is the time when people tend to turn to intoxicants. They try a bit of beer, a bit of alcohol, bit of smoke. So don't go into that. It's going to harm your life in long run. And lead a faithful and moral life with your partner. Don't cheat on your partner. So you don't have to misconduct in that field as well. That's a moral life. Very important to develop that habit. Next point, very important, is organize your life. And now you cannot organize your whole life sitting here today, but you can organize your year, on your birthday, or maybe on 1st of January, you think of the whole year. My advice will be, have a diary, your own diary, where you put all your plannings in the diary. So ahead of a year, you put everything important into that diary, and then go to that diary every month. Make sure you have put all the important things to do, important events coming in that month, and then visit it again every week and put your week's plan into that week in your diary, and then go and visit it every evening before you sleep and write down your next day's plans, to-do list into that diary. So that's one part of organizing your life. Second part is organizing your priorities, managing your priorities. So say you've got 10 things to do on your list. How do you go about it? You can't do 10 things first thing in the morning. So there is something called as having a priority. So there are four categories of this. Some things are important and they are urgent, so they need to be done straight away, first thing in the morning. Some things are urgent but they are not important, but if you miss them you lose out. So you have to get those things done as well because they are urgent. You can't keep postponing them. Certain things are important but they are not urgent. You can do them later today or tomorrow or maybe next week, but you have to make sure you don't keep postponing those things so they become urgent and important. So you have to be mindful, and there will be some to-do things on your list which will be non-urgent and non-important. Just delete them. Don't waste your time and efforts for such things. So that's organizing your priority list. One more important thing in that is time management, and I would suggest you have to be very, very mindful about time management. My experience says time saved is time earned, and if you invest time in good habits now, you will be able to save lots and lots of time for your future. So time management, find out your typical schedule of the day, how your time is being managed, and see, are you wasting any time anywhere? Is there something which you can avoid or cut down in terms of time and save time for good things? That means you will be saving that much of time. And decide your priority, to-do list. These things will help you to manage your time efficiently. You have to be really mindful about time, and there are certain things, as I said, you have to invest your time in, like meditation, daily practice, daily exercise, learning new things such as studying and extracurricular activities, spending time with your family and friends, and giving time to your hobbies as well. If you are investing time here, then that will pay you off at some point. Next point is become a global person. And I would tell you from my experience, because I have been staying abroad for a few years now, the world has become a global platform. It's no more just your district, just your village or city or state or country. It's not just about you or your community or your caste or your religion or your language. It's a global world now, and you have to think in terms of global scenario. So when you are thinking of business, education, career, or any opportunity, they have now become global. You cannot keep yourself restricted locally with a narrow vision. You have to open up and think globally. Then that will help you to lead a good life. Next point is socialization. I'll tell you briefly about a study which was started in 1938 at Harvard University in America. They started studying 268 students. That time they were teenagers. Now only 19 of them are alive and they are in their 90s. And this 80-year-old study is the longest of the study of its kind, and they have very important lesson for us. If you want to lead a happy life, then stay connected. Stay connected with your family members, with your colleagues, with your batchmates, with your friends. And socialization is very important part of happy life, as important as keeping your body healthy. The last point I'll tell you, you should have a rational thinking. Guys, it's very important as a child, as a teenager, or as a youngster to develop a rational thinking habit now. What is rational thinking? It is your ability to think with logic and reasons. Just a one-way thinking with biased views and opinions, thoughts based on prejudices, misunderstanding is not good. That will make your vision narrow, and you will just be a prejudiced person. So open up. When you see something, when you read something or hear something, start asking questions to yourself. Is it true? Can it be true? Why is it so? What's the reason for this? What is the mechanism for this? Does it make sense to you? And if it doesn't make sense to you, ask, read, find out. There must be some scientific, logical explanation to that. If there's none, there might be some social or political or financial motive behind that. If there's none, if you can't find out, then ask. Find out the truth. Don't just assume or accept the thing because it's being told to you by your parents or your teachers or your ancestors. Just don't assume or believe because it's there in your books, it's there in the religious books or spiritual gurus are telling you. It will be a blind following, blind faith. So find out, use your logic. If it makes sense to you, if it makes logical sense to you, and you think it's beneficial, if you experience the benefits of it, then accept it as the fact. Otherwise, just keep questioning, develop your rational thinking, because that is very important for you and for your next generations. Friends, I hope these all 10 tips are important and you find them interesting, and I hope you will be able to apply them in your life. I'll keep coming with similar videos for your age group, and I'm also planning to make some videos on some educational topics as well. So do keep visiting and do share with everyone you know. Take care. Bye bye.